In the year 1587, a group of 115 English settlers arrived on Roanoke Island, located off the coast of what is today North Carolina. Their goal was ambitious: to build a permanent English colony in the New World. But when their leader returned from England 3 years later, the settlement was empty. There were no signs of violence, no bodies, no answers. The only clue was a single word carved into a tree: Croatoan. What really happened to the lost colony of Roanoke? Today, we'll explore this chilling historical mystery. In the 16th century, the world's superpowers were locked in a global race to conquer and colonize new lands. Spain had already claimed vast riches in South America, while England was desperate to establish its own foothold in the Americas. Queen Elizabeth I granted a charter to one of her trusted explorers, Sir Walter Raleigh, to set up a colony in North America. Raleigh's first attempt in 1585 ended in disaster, with colonists facing food shortages, harsh conditions, and conflict with local Native American tribes. Forced to abandon the settlement, they returned to England. But Raleigh was determined. 2 years later, a second expedition was sent, this time with families, men, women, and children, hoping to build a permanent home in the New World. In 1587, led by the artist and explorer John White, the settlers arrived at Roanoke Island. They began rebuilding the colony, but trouble came quickly. Relations with the local Secatan tribe were tense. The Secatan had grown distrustful of the English after previous conflicts, and this time they refused to trade food and attacked the settlers. As conditions worsened, John White made a difficult decision. He would return to England to gather supplies and reinforcements. White left behind his daughter, her husband, and his newborn granddaughter, Virginia Dare, the first English child born in America. Due to war with Spain, John White's return to Roanoke was delayed for 3 long years. When he finally stepped back onto the island in 1590, the colony was gone. The building stood empty, supplies were missing, and there were no signs of violence, no bodies, no blood, nothing. The only clue left behind was a single word carved into a tree: Croatoan. Croatoan was the name of a nearby island, home to a Native American tribe believed to be friendly toward the English. White wanted to investigate, but a powerful storm forced his ships to turn back to England. He would never uncover the fate of his family or the settlers. Over the centuries, historians and archaeologists have proposed many theories about what happened to the lost colony. One of the most widely accepted theories is that the settlers abandoned Roanoke and sought refuge with the Croatoan tribe on nearby Hatteras Island. There are reports that later Native American tribes had English-style weapons and some physical features like gray eyes. Recent archaeological digs on Hatteras have uncovered English artifacts dating back to the late 1500s. Another theory suggests that the colony was attacked and destroyed by hostile Native American tribes, perhaps the Secotán or Powhatan. But this theory has a major flaw. If there was a battle, why were no bodies or signs of fighting ever found? Some historians believe the settlers may have moved inland, deeper into the wilderness of what is now North Carolina. In fact, some early maps from the 1600s even show possible English settlements further west. Life in the New World was brutal. Food shortages, drought, and disease could have wiped out the colony without any outside attack. But again, no graves or remains have been found. There's also the possibility that the settlers attempted to sail back to England themselves, only to be lost in a storm. But without clear evidence, this theory remains speculative. In recent decades, archaeologists, historians, and even genetic researchers have searched for answers. Excavations on both Roanoke and Hatteras Islands have uncovered some clues: pieces of English pottery, tools, and weapon fragments, but no definitive proof. Some scientists are also studying the DNA of Native American tribes in the region, hoping to find traces of English ancestry, but results remain inconclusive. Roanoke's story is more than just a historical mystery. It's a haunting reminder of how fragile early colonies were and how easily they could vanish without a trace. Even today, the word Croatoan has become a symbol of the unknown, appearing in books, movies, and ghost stories. So what do you think? Were the settlers absorbed into native tribes? Did they move inland? Or does the island of Roanoke still hide secrets waiting to be uncovered?